In preparing for this interview with our next guest, I found that there was a lot to learn about the work and the reach of the global nonprofit Joni and Friends. Joni and Friends is all about giving practical help to people impacted with disability around the world and also sharing the hope of the gospel. One vital piece of this organization is their summer family retreats, which for the first time now has a home in Louisiana. Just south of Alexandria, at the Wesley Center in the town of Woodworth, is the home of the Joni and Friends Louisiana Family Retreat. The retreat is described as a haven for families living with disability. Its founder is the esteemed Joni Eareckson Tada, who has lived with disability since 1967, when a diving accident left her a quadriplegic. She was 17 years old.
I swam out to this raft anchored a few yards offshore, took a reckless dive into shallow water. I knew then my life had changed forever. My doctor said, "Joni, you're going to be paralyzed for the rest of your life, without use of your hands, your legs." And I said, "God, I can't live like this. I won't live like this."
But she has, and her story is one of the most inspirational of our time, perhaps of any time. She's become a best-selling Christian author, radio show host, stateswoman to presidents. She helped author the Americans with Disabilities Act. Her best-selling autobiography was made into a feature film. She is CEO of Joni and Friends, a Christian organization which provides programs and services for thousands of special needs families around the world. Services like Wheels Around the World, wheelchairs for anyone in need, anywhere. Marty Quasny joins me now. Marty, you are the Regional Operations Director for now Louisiana, but also Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. And with this camp coming to Louisiana for the first time, retreat, I should call it, how important is it for our state to have a place like this?
Incredibly important. We are a state where the national average is 1 in 4. We are 1 in 3.
People with disabilities?
Yeah, families.
Families.
1 in 3 families in our state is touched by disability. Isn't that amazing?
Well, it's amazing because it's not something you see as you go out and about in your life.
I know.
And part of that is that oftentimes people with disabilities are really tucked away in the back of the house.
It's easier to stay home. It's easier to stay home and vacillate in your own isolation.
Well, we've seen what happened to Joni Eareckson Tada, and how through this incredible change in her life, this has developed to help others.
Yes.
With all of her many, many talents. And she's an incredibly busy woman. But you're a big part of this organization now. How did you get involved?
Years ago, I read Joni's book. I was in 5th grade, in need of hearing something more, something with meaning. And it's kind of directed my path in life. Moving forward, at 40, God moved us to Jackson, Mississippi, and it all birthed then. I got to meet my childhood hero, and I've been with her ever since.
Wow, wow. What other programs exist?
Oh my goodness.
There's so many, right?
Yes. Out of family retreat, we long to be in community with these families. So we have special deliveries throughout the year. We have barnyard dances, community events. We have marriage getaways. We're about to have one in 2 weeks here in Louisiana. And we have a siblings retreat in the fall in Louisiana.
Let's talk about the family retreat this summer. How is it set up? What do the kids do? What do the families do while they're there?
Okay, so you do realize most of our families cannot leave their home for a vacation.
Right.
It's difficult. So we pair them up.
They've got a child with a disability. That's 24/7, year-round for the rest of their life.
Exactly. And we have some families come in with U-Hauls behind them carrying medical equipment.
Wow.
It takes a community, a village, in order to get them to family retreat, in order to have a vacation. So really that's what it is for these families. They could not afford many of them couldn't afford a vacation, not because of financial needs, but because they don't have the manpower.
Are there scholarships
Yes.
for this also? Because a lot of
Yes.
families probably can't afford this.
They can't. And that's where my job comes into detail of I ask for donors to sponsor families.
Very
So,
good,
yeah.
very good. What will the kids do? What can they do?
They can do just about any and everything. So there is a no entry pool that they can swim in. There's activities of art, of nature. We even bring a Rosie, which is a apparatus where you can get one from a wheelchair into this apparatus to do a hike through the woods.
And the key is that they have a one special person, a one-on-one volunteer,
Yes.
with each of them.
They have to.
There's a need for volunteers?
A need for volunteers.
this summer?
So we definitely a need for the volunteers for those with disability as well as the siblings. So we need volunteers. We can't do it without the help of people in the
Yeah.
community.
Where else can people hear about all of this and everything that is all about Joni and
They
Friends?
can go to Joni and Friends, AND and Friends .org/Louisiana and find all the information they need.
Okay, it's a huge step forward for our state.
Yes.
Which, once again, we're leading the pack in a statistic we'd rather not lead in.
Right.
More people with disabilities here than the national average.
Right.
But Joni and Friends offers hope and help, real help.
Yes. Real help, dignity, and a place for our families to belong.
Marty, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Great to talk to you.
It's good talking to you.